here. Do you want to talk a little bit about the ratings with here?
Absolutely. So week 3 of the non-existent Wednesday Night Wars, because no, it's not a war, but even though it is. Don't let anybody tell you it's not. So AEW this previous week last week had a 1,018,000 viewers and 0.46 18 to 49 demo. Now this week it has dropped slightly to 1,014,000 viewers, a loss of 4,000.
It's a million 14,000. Yeah, 14,000 viewers.
And then now the demo is 0.44.
Right.
Down 0.02 of a percent.
Yeah.
NXT last week was 790,000. This week is dropped to 714,000 and dropped 0.02 of a percent on the 18 to 49 demo, with 0.20 down from 0.22 last week. So
yeah, if
both shows have dropped, and AEW is pretty much held steady, which is normal, or just above 1 million. But NXT has dropped, I guess, I don't want to say significantly, but it doesn't look good.
Like,
if it drops below 700,000,
which I think that it will
next week.
I mean, if you aren't concerned about NXT, then like you should definitely be panicking right now, because I mean like USA has to be looking at this and they're like, guys, what are you doing? Like, they were in week 1, I think they did 1.2 million viewers, if I'm correct, for week 1. They're now have dropped almost half their audience now. It's just like
about, I don't know about half, but at least 25%.
Yeah, but at least a quarter of their audience. And this has been a complete disaster for them going up against AEW, which everyone called this year because I mean, like, in this all goes back to, like, was it really worth it to potentially kill all buzz with NXT just to try and stick it to AEW? And as we are seeing, the fans are choosing AEW over NXT, and that is not going to change. I mean, like, even with the NBA coming next week, I don't think it's going to really change.
And I don't think there was no MLB playoffs.
Nope.
This week
there was zero competition this week, which I'm not sure if that's more concerning for NXT or AEW there, because on top of that, there was also 2 title defenses with Chris Jericho and with the Women's Championship, and that didn't do as well as I hoped that it would do. I was hoping that it would honestly increase a little bit, but they lost not too many viewers. And same thing with NXT. But the problem with NXT is it keeps on declining every single week. And
to be fair, both of them are declining every week. But
it just seems
it seems like AEW's plateauing.
Well, and to
around that 1 million, and NXT's losing more than AEW.
And we also need to keep in mind too, AEW is still a really new company, and for them to be even doing this well, it is impressive. NXT, on the other hand, has been around for what, 3 or 4 years now, and this is the best that they can do right now. It's just, I mean, like, at one point, are you with, like, USA? Do you ask them to possibly move to another night, maybe on a Tuesday or on a Thursday night. It's just like because the problem with NXT and AEW is it's the same exact audience that you're going after, and we're seeing, as I said, those fans are going to choose AEW over it.
They want to see the new fresh meat, if you will.
Right.
Take a terrible saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I don't think if you're the executives in WWE, I don't think you want to change now because I just the optics look bad.
They do because like
4 weeks, like nope.
Well, and it's like I said, AEW is wrestling in front of like mostly mostly sold out arenas, while NXT is wrestling in front of like 400 people. It's just from a visual standpoint, as I've been saying, it just looks real. It just looks real low budget now, and and just like they're going to need to do something eventually. I do think that at some point they are going to go on the road. I don't think that's going to really change anything as far as the ratings go up against AEW. But just from an optics standpoint, that's got to change. But for AEW, the show itself, in my opinion,
I'm sorry. You're gonna do a lot of the talking here because while I was watching the Pittsburgh Penguin game, that was a good hockey game against the Avalanche, and that had my attention because that was on too, and it went to overtime. So I was kind of going in and out.
Honestly, for this week, I don't really blame you because
if the game was not on, my attention would be on AEW, but it was a good game and a close game that I wanted to see. I want to see how we would do against somebody who's 5-0.
Yeah. Well, I will say though that this was probably AEW's weakest show, and it goes back to some of the gripes that I've been having with their TV. It's far too much wrestling. It's far too much wrestling. This show desperately needs more interviews. They need more video packages. They need more promos. And I will say this: that Cody video package was excellently done. Was excellent. There needs to be more of that. For example, we had a women's championship match that got no build whatsoever. We had no reason why these two were facing each other, and how Britt Baker actually got a title shot. There was literally no story going into that match whatsoever.
Yeah, I wasn't. Again, I was into the hockey game,
and that could have really used a interview, a video package. At least give it something. At least give it some sort of a story. And that was pretty consistent all night. It was just like match, and that was it. And that really irritated me. But probably the thing that irritated me the most easily though was the semi or was a quarterfinal tag team match between Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt versus the Lucha Brothers.
I'm curious to see if we're complaining about the same thing.
Yes, that match was complete and utter bullshit. To the freaking T. It's no one should be selling for Marco Stunt.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
For anyone who is trying to compare this to Rey Mysterio, please kiss my ass. First of all, there's almost a half a foot difference between the two, and one guy looks like a professional wrestler. The other guy looks like a freaking fan.
He looks like a kid who got into the ring.
Exactly.
I can't. I can buy. Was it Jungle Express? What's the team name?
Jurassic Express.
Whatever the hell. Same difference.
I'm like a Luchasaurus and like Jungle Boy 5.
If I can buy that team, to me that's maybe a wrong comparison, but the first thing that came to my head is a Big Cass and Enzo. You got the small guy and then the big guy who does the power stuff.
Exactly.
But you have Marco Stunt, who looks like I crap turds bigger than him.
Well, and the thing is too, like
you can't buy it serious that the freaking Pentagon Junior and who's the other guy?
And Phoenix.
Phoenix, that's right. I knew it started with a P. Or like getting like Hurricanranas and like DDTs from this little guy. It's not believable.
I was going full Jim Cornette last night.
I am desperately waiting. I love hearing his
he tweeted about it about last night. It was hilarious.
Because I listened to his clips on YouTube about AEW and stuff, and some of those are good, especially when he talks about Kenny Omega and calls him Kenny Olivier.
Oh, he hates Kenny Omega.
That's hilarious. I love watching him. It's great. Listening to him is hilarious.
But like,
he has some good points, some valid points, and some points I disagree with. But he's gonna tear this up. I love it.
Well, and what irritates me is that there's so many people defending this. I'm like,
no.
I mean, like, people are like trying to make the comparisons with like Ray, and they're like, well, like, back in the day, like, Ray was treated as the same thing. I was like, first of all, Ray is so much bigger than Marco's Stunt. Second of all, Ray was an actual star. I mean, like he was the cornerstone for the cruiserweights in WCW. Like between him, Eddie, and Jericho, and all of those guys. So it really annoys me that we're trying to make this comparison. It just. Oh my!
He looks. Yeah, I don't buy him.
But that thing irritated me the most. But thankfully, Pentagon and Phoenix won.
If Jungle Boy would have won, I would have been like, oh god.
But they will be facing Private Party next week in Pittsburgh, and holy hell, that's going to be a barn burner, Mr. Man. So we got that set up. And as far as the women's match is concerned, as I said, I had zero interest in this match whatsoever. This AEW's women's division desperately needs something. Like, I don't know who any of these women are outside of like Britt Baker. The only thing I know about her is that she's a freaking dentist.
And she's from Pittsburgh.
Like, that's all that I know. I have no idea who the hell Riho is. I have no idea who like Awesome Kong or Nyla Rose, Bia or B Priestley. I don't know who any of these women are. AEW has done a horrible job in presenting these women and actually telling us fans like who these people are and why should we care. Like, especially when you're introducing them to a whole new audience that no one has seen.
They're lucky. I don't say the only thing they have going for them, but the guys made their names at other places, and they're popular with the indie fans. So when they came in, everybody knows who they are.
And like
with the women, the ones they have shown us, with a few exceptions, at least on the TV show, I honestly have never heard.
Yeah, I mean, in the only two
ones we know have not been on the show.
Like, I mean, I knew Awesome Kong from TNA, and obviously her short stint in WWE, but and Britt Baker from ROH, and also to Matt, and I saw her a few times at a local indie show here, but yeah, like it's just they need to do a much better job, and quite frankly, they need to sign some better women because there are women out there. Eve Felice, why why they have not signed her is beyond me. Why they have not signed a Tennille Dashwood is beyond me. Although I believe she's only working for Impact through Bound for Glory, so I believe she might be free after that there. So I mean, like, they just need to do a better job in making us care about this division, because just like talking, comparing them to like Impact, NXT, WWE, like AEW, outside of probably Ring of Honor right now, has easily the worst women's division in all of professional wrestling right now. So they need to get that thing going. But other stuff that happened on the show, we had SCU beat Best Friends. There was also a pre-match attack where Pentagon and Phoenix took out Christopher Daniels. This eventually led to Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian tagging, and eventually they got the win over Best Friends. I'm a little bit surprised that they're going with the heel route with Pentagon and Phoenix. I personally feel that they should have put SCU as the heels just because they could talk better. But
then later in the night, everybody was cheering and doing the whatever.
Exactly. Like,
didn't match.
You're not gonna have those guys getting booed there. Like good luck. Like I've watched so many shows with those guys, whether it was like Lucha Underground, Impact, All In, All Out, whatever show, they were getting babyface reactions. There's a better chance in SCU getting heel heat just because of Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky are really good talkers. I mean Pentagon and Phoenix just aren't gonna be talking too much, and they are cool and they're badasses. Like, that's gonna be very hard to do. But as I said, SCU, they won. They will be facing Dark Order next week, also in Pittsburgh, in the semifinals. So yeah, that should be interesting.
Houston just hit a 3-1 home run,
and that probably does it for the Yankees there.
6-1.
So yeah, we also had a tag team match between Kenny Omega and Hangman Page.
I honestly barely saw any of this too. I wanted to, but
yeah. This was pretty fun, a pretty good match against Pac and Jon Moxley. Basically, what happened here is like Moxley and Omega got their barbed wire gimmicks here, which eventually Pac didn't take too kindly with, because he didn't want to get disqualified and lose the undefeated mark. But this eventually led.
I saw that.
Yeah, this eventually led to, with Jon Moxley flipping off Pac and giving him his the DDT. And this eventually led to both Kenny and Hangman getting the win for their team.
I did see the end. I like that little storytelling there.
And they also announced for next week, Jon Moxley versus Pac in Pittsburgh. So, I mean, like three really fun matches right there, Matt. I'm pretty excited for that. And also, they announced that the Young Bucks would also be in action next week. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see how this is going to come off there. It's going to be our first AEW live experience. It's going to be my first time seeing guys like Kenny Omega live. I'm very interested to see how that's going to be.
I thought we saw him before that.
No, we've never been to an actual event with him on the card, because we were hoping that he was going to be on the MSG card, but by then AEW was already.
He wasn't on any of the RH.
No, he was more exclusive with.
I can't remember.
Yeah, he was more exclusive.
I swear we've seen it before.
No, the one show that he was on for for our ROH. Sadly, we did not actually go to.
I probably had conflicts.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's gonna be fun. I'm also going to be interested to see how many tickets are going to be actually sold for this. Yeah, I mean, I just hope that it's not too empty. I
don't think it's gonna be empty.
I'm hoping that's not. Maybe you can look that up there on the app there, Matt. Yeah. So and then getting into the main event, which was for the AEW World Title between Chris Jericho versus Darby Allin in a Philly street fight. This was okay. I never really got super into this match. There wasn't really any drama or.
I was barely in this match.
Yeah, like
I was hot. Nothing on their fault.
No,
I was interested in something else. So
I never really believed that Darby Allin was ever going to win this match at any point. So. It served its purpose. I hated the finish. Why did Chris Jericho need like Jake Hager to do a distraction and hit Darby Allin and to get the win? So I wasn't really crazy about that, but it wasn't. It wasn't a very strong show from AEW this week, but that's going to happen from time to time. I'm still super excited about the show next week. Oh wow, like that's okay. Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No, I mean like that looks like what, about 200 seats maybe not filled.
Oh, I don't know about that. It could
Give or
be
take.
more.
Give or take.
1, 2,
400, 500. I mean, something like that. But I mean, I just hope that arena is mostly full, which I'm figured that it probably will be. I'm going to be very interested to see how it's going to be walking them through campus there, because all of those students are like, why are all these weird people here? But
yeah.
So I'm very interested to see how the reaction is going to come off that. And you know what? It looks like a pretty fun show next week. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I'm just interested to see how it just comes off, how the presentation, how being there. It's something new. I'm just interested to see what happens. It wasn't $50.
Yeah, I mean, like I was still shocked at how easily that we got tickets, just because at that point with like how everyone had such a hard time getting tickets in both in Philadelphia and with Boston. Like I just heard horror stories, and I had friends who also went to the Chicago shows and to the Vegas show.
Yeah. To be fair, it's different monsters in those cities.
Absolutely, but still, at the time, AEW was in an extremely hot ticket. So, I mean, like, so you really could blame us for being super nervous.
Right.
So, but yeah, we got tickets, and it should be a pretty fun time.